Okay, that was a little bit scary. I think there might be a ghost in that room, which is why you never see me record in that room. Every once in a while, you have a rough day. Every once in a while, you have a rough month. And today, and the last 5 days, would qualify as that rough day or that rough month. And it's times like this that, okay, imagine for a moment, let's get this chalk out. Let's do this. Okay. This is the trajectory of essentially most traders. Most traders can make some forward progress like that, right? Most traders can make a few dollars, or this can last for weeks, this can last for months. In my case, it lasts for 3 or 4 months at a time. And then there comes an inevitable, this is a down arrow. It's a down arrow. It's an inevitable retracement. A move lower. A situation where things just don't go the way that they have been going. And it can be psychological, it can be risk-based, you can change your trade size, and there are no traders that are immune to this. I mean, there are people that are like automatons, or there are people that don't have trading problems. I don't know any of those people, as a matter of fact. I don't know any of them. And I think people who act like that's their situation, I find them insufferable because they're liars, right? So we know that. This can be a loss of 20%, could be a loss of 10%, could be a loss of 30%. It could be a giant loss. This is the moment, this is a critical moment right here, where you got to stop and you got to reflect. I'm at that moment. I'm at that moment of stopping and reflecting. There are people, and this has been me at sometimes in the past, especially at the beginning, where they just keep going and they descend into the abyss. And so here's the story. Today, I thought I was going to continue up to this level, but what I did was I continued down to that level and I stopped. Lucky for me, I stopped. And thank goodness that I did. Because stopping is a wonderful thing. Stopping allows us a chance to reflect on what went wrong, how we got to this period of retracement, and there are a few reasons why things go wrong. And then there are a few reasons that things get back on track. A few reasons that things go wrong. Market conditions change, like Brexit, and everything gets fouled up during that time. That's that can happen. Number 2, psychology changes. We get off our goals, we're unhealthy, our mental state changes, we're exhausted, and that causes some problems. Or our trading system breaks. I think the trading system breaking is a ridiculous excuse. It's not actually, that's very rare. It's very rare. Trading systems have losses, but trading systems generally don't violate the laws of physics and just go on an absolute, turn into a sentient being and run away with your money. So I really think it comes down to market conditions and psychology. And sometimes market conditions can bring on a change of psychology. Well, that's kind of what happened to me. Brexit happened, everything changed, and then I got off track. And the best thing to do in a situation like that is stop. Stop and, for example, spend some time with my daughter. And take a moment in those times and reflect back on what works. And I mentioned this on today's podcast, and it's this. You go back to making a set, easy-to-reach goal every week, or you hand off your trading to a robot, and then you get back in the groove. You take a break, And when you come back, you go back to what works, which is, I'm going to say it one more time and then I'm going to shut up about it. You set an easy to reach goal, like $1 a week, and I talk about that all the time, or whatever it is. For me, in the stock market, it's $500 a week is easy. So when I'm feeling a lack of confidence or I'm off track, $500 is like, today I more than doubled that and I was done. And I feel like, okay, I know how to do this. And that's what it does. Setting an easy goal reminds you that you know how to do it. Or you hand off the trading to a robot. Now, when I fire back up the currency trading account, I'm going to go back to running those robots again, which we're doing quite well. And I'm going to go back to that because the robots are consistent and they remind me that consistency wins and I'm back on track all of a sudden. What I have done in the past is try to get back on track by scrambling or trying something new. And those kinds of things that's a dark, deep, bad hole to go down. Anyway, that's all I got to say about this issue. I don't want to have an endless set of conversations about a bump in the road. I'm happy you're here. Here's the kind of guy I am. I don't get things right the first time. I don't get things right the second time. It's why a lot of my trading strategies incorporate this idea of get it wrong the first time, wait, stay in the trade, get it right the next time. Or get it wrong the first time, wait, get in a second time with a larger position size. It's kind of the way I operate. The other thing that I found interesting about my trading career is that only when my back is kind of against the wall do I bring out my A game. And I don't think that's really a great thing at all. But I've realized that when I'm down, what I'll do is I'll push my body to the limits. I'll put on my running shoes right now, and I'll go for a run, and I'll just exhaust my body. And when I'm exhausting my body, at that moment, while I'm exhausting my body or whatever, or in that moment where I'm like taking a deep breath and stepping back from the situation and looking at things from a bigger perspective, I have these moments of clarity with my back against the wall where I just see something setting up and I see something happening that is more likely to succeed than almost anything that I've been doing recently. And of course, it would be optimal if I could avoid the whole first round of things going wrong that I have to correct. That would be optimal, of course. But I'll take it and I'll accept it as the way it is. The problem is that in these moments when my back is against the wall or things have gone wrong or whatever, the inclination is to scale back, to get into a protective ball, to hide into my shell, to not be risky, to not go out on a limb and try to get back at the market. There's all this talk out there that getting revenge on the market is a bad idea, or trying to exact revenge or whatever is a bad idea. Well, if you don't want your money back, and if you're not mad about having a loss, and if you don't want to get back at, then what is it that you want? Do you want to live in harmony with the market and it's going to do nice things for you and then you're going to do nice things for it? That's perfectly fine. It just that's not the way it's ever worked for me. I find that there are moments when we're harmonious, but I find there's some moments when I have to stand my ground. And I think some of my best moments as a trader have come in those times where I feel like I've let myself or others down and that I have to step up to the plate, and I have to be willing to step up courageously and take a big swing. Or it comes down to the penalty kick at the end, and I've got to get up there and I've got to take that penalty kick, and I can't be, in that moment, I can't be frozen in my shell. I can't be scared of actually doing my job at that moment. I've got to be ready to go, even if in that moment I might lack confidence to a greater degree than at any other time recently. But then again, maybe it's a little bit different. It's only when my back is against the wall and I'm finally seeing things clear, when I've made the wrong decision once and I'm now seeing it more clearly now that the price is better, the time is better, the setup is better. It's only then that true form of quiet confidence emerges. Those are my favorite times, even though they're not necessarily the best times. I actually haven't done my running. You can't see me right now. It's all dark. It's all totally dark. Hey, you want to see the, you can't see me right now. You want to see the room I built to record the radio show? Here it is. You probably hear a difference in the audio even in this room. So we hung soundproof, the new Rob Booker soundproof curtains. They'll help the sound, but they won't help your articulation. Anyway, here's the room. These are soundproof curtains. They're not really soundproof curtains. They're curtains that are supposed to darken out the room, right? So if I close this, that's it. It's like pitch black in here now. Pretty crazy, right? Okay, that was a little bit scary. I think there might be a ghost in that room, which is why you never see me record in that room. I might be a little bit afraid to record in there. I'm a little bit afraid to even admit that I'm afraid to record in there.